And first at 4, we're learning the name of the officer who died during that traffic stop turned shooting in Bothell. His name is Jonathan Shoup. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jamie Tompkins.
And I'm David Rose. Officer Shoup had only been on the Bothell police force for just over a year. Bothell police say Shoup is survived by his fiancée, his mother, and his 2 brothers. You're seeing a memorial for Shoup outside that we've seen people stopping by to visit all day long at the department in Bothell. And tonight we're learning more about the shootout that erupted that killed Officer Shoup and injured his fellow officer. One man is in custody after the manhunt that lasted into the early morning hours. And we're bringing you team coverage of the aftermath in Bellevue as well. Q13's Grace Lim is showing us how the community is responding to the deadly shooting.
But we begin with Q13's Matt Lorch with the latest on the investigation tonight. Matt?
David and Jamie, we just watched a woman walk by with flowers as people here in Bothell learn the identity of that officer killed. Crews just reopened Bothell Way in the last few hours as this community mourns a young officer killed during a traffic stop. With an American flag draped over the officer's lifeless body, his comrades salute his sacrifice. Jonathan Shoup just joined the Bothell Police Department 1 year ago after serving in the U.S. Coast Guard. Crews towed away the SUV he was riding in. The front window shattered following a shootout.
And then I saw the police car and the suspect's car collide.
Linda Williams lives right down the street from the shooting scene on busy Bothell Way and Woodinville Drive.
I'm kind of speechless about it. It hits my heart.
It started around 9:40 Monday night when Bothell police say they tried to stop a man driving this black sedan. They say that driver took off, leading them on a short chase when the driver hit a man in his early 20s who was riding a scooter and then crashed through the median.
At some point, the driver of the vehicle and the officers engaged in a gun battle, basically, in which one officer was killed and another officer was injured and taken to Harborview Medical Center.
The pain of losing an officer, new to many inside the department.
I've worked here for over 25 years and we have never had an officer shot. So this will be some uncharted territory for us, and again, it's going to be a rough couple days for our organization.
But overnight, there was not time to mourn. Police say the gunman took off running, leading to a search that lasted several hours.
Lights flashing outside in the yard.
Mike Robison could not believe the manhunt came through his property.
There in my front porch and my door and stuff is just a whole bunch of policemen. I mean, there must have been more than a dozen of them.
Just after 3 a.m., police found the man hiding on a rooftop of this downtown Bothell business, just a few blocks away from where the shooting happened. They captured him after the man became wedged between 2 buildings. As the focus for much of this community turned to the life that's been lost.
That we have your back. You're not alone. There are people out there that still love and respect you.
Police have not said what led up to that original traffic stop. We do have some good news. The injured officer has already been released from Harborview. That happened this morning. The man on the scooter who was hit, he's still in the hospital in satisfactory condition. As for the suspect, we have his name. We're not releasing it at this time because he has not been officially charged. He's expected to be in court in Snohomish County tomorrow. We're live in Bothell. Matt Lorch, Q13 News.
Matt, thank you. People from Bothell and all across the region are remembering and honoring Officer Shoup tonight.
Q13's Grace Lim is live at the memorial for the fallen officer now at the department. Grace?
Yeah, David and Jamie, this memorial in front of Bothell City Hall, just across the street from the Bothell Police Department. And we've been out here all day long, and there continues to be a steady stream of mourners coming out to the memorial to pay their respects to Officer Jonathan Shoup. Take a look behind me. So many flowers, balloons, American flags, and words of support surround this patrol car. Just goes to show how tight-knit the community of Bothell is and how much respect they have for authorities.
So many bad things are happening in the world today, and I brought my girls here to pay their respects.
The community of Bothell came together to mourn Officer Jonathan Shoup, who died in the line of duty.
It's just flowers, but it's a way that we can show our respect.
For Isra Cruz Speed, last night's deadly pursuit for the suspect who also injured another police officer and a pedestrian hits close to home.
My godmother actually works at the Bothell Police, and she was on duty last night with the search.
And so my whole family was just like really scared last night and hoping that she'll be safe.
Nathan Barnes brought his 9-year-old son James to the memorial. He says Bothell police once helped them find his lost son.
Actually, last year at the Christmas tree lighting, my youngest son got lost, and James knew what to do. He went right up to a police officer.
I was with my brother.
Along with flowers, mourners also wrote words of support, expressing gratitude for police and letting them know they're not alone.
So if you see right there, our hearts are with you, and your sacrifice will not be forgotten. Well, it just means that we're showing our support and like we feel for them.
Those who came out today say their thoughts and prayers are with the officers' families.
We're praying for the officers' families and everyone.
And back out here live, you could see a lot of parents chose to bring their children to the memorial today. They say that they felt it was important to talk to their children, talk to their young kids and educate them on what's going on, especially during these times. Live in Bothell, Grace Lim, Q13 News.
Grace, thank you. And the shooting of Officer Shoup and his fellow Bothell police officer comes at a tense time for policing all across the country and here locally too.
Yeah, that outpouring of support there will mean so much to his family and his department. We spoke to a woman who brought her 2 daughters to the Bothell Police Department today to pay respects. And she says while she's active in the Black Lives Matter movement, she still supports those who protect and serve.
With everything that's going on in the country right now, I've definitely made my voice known for Black Lives Matter. And I've lived here my whole life. And the police station has been nothing but kind and respectful to us. Supporting everybody in the community, and so this really just hits home when it's one of your own. So we came to pray.
Ariana tells us she tries to teach her daughter not to make extreme judgments about groups of people, but rather based on individual actions.
So I'm trying to teach them, like, yes, there are bad people, but there's bad people everywhere, and the ones that are here protecting us are good. But this morning after they woke up, I let them know that there was a bad man outside last night, and he did kill an officer and hurt another one. And so that's why we're going to go pray and leave flowers. And I just made sure to let them know that, you know, you're okay, we're going to protect you no matter what. And it's hard. There's never a right thing to say. Parenting is just learning on the fly. But I think everything in the world right now is making me just a little more scared for them every day.
Well, Governor Inslee addressed this tragedy at the top of his press conference today, saying that he and his wife Trudy are sending their thoughts to the officer who was injured and mourning the loss of one of Bothell's finest.
We're pleased the suspect has been apprehended, and we want to send our deepest condolences to this family. We know that is indescribably painful.
The governor went on to address a statewide surge in coronavirus cases and announce an extension of the pause on reopening. We'll have those details for you shortly.